What is going on, party people? Party people, when I say party people, I mean party people. Like in a time like this, of course it's cloudy outside, but it's always a great day to live. It's always a great day to be Ichabod. That's what I would say. I would tell you today that I am a student attending Washburn University. My name is Joshua Rivera, and I am a sophomore now. My main instrument is the tenor saxophone, and again, I am majoring in music and education. So today, what I will be doing with you is talking about the viola and what it's the positioning of a viola. We're going to talk about some playing, talk about some how to be plucking. You probably don't know what plucking is. And also we'll talk about how to sit straight and posture and rise, and just how to be an amazing musician with a viola. And if you have an essential book, that's great to use as well. I'll be talking about that for a little while and what pages to go to. But today I will be talking to you about fingering. And of course, the viola has some steps, and that step one is getting the instrument out. You want to get that instrument out. It's going to be some good things. You can't play on just a case. So get it out very carefully. Get it out very carefully. And once you get it out, we're going to talk about some things that are on the viola. What to do, or not what to do, but some names for the viola. Today it's going to be a little embarrassing. I know. I know it's going to be embarrassing. I don't want to show it, but I have to. I'm going to be using a model of the viola. Please bear with me with how the shape of the viola is and what I'll be talking about. So first, I want to talk about the names and parts of the viola, and that is basically that's just here is going to be our scroller, and also we're going to have our pegs. Our pegs would be right here. Yeah, your pegs will look like that, and those are your pegs, both coming out. You'll be able to tune the strings as of that, and you will also, sorry to skip down, but you will have your fine tuners there, your fine tuners. Pretty good as to what pitch and sound it is as well. It could very help with that. And also we're going to be talking about our fingerboard. Our fingerboard is going to be the most important because you want to know where your fingers are going. And also we have our bridge. Our bridge, I'm sorry if I'm going everywhere. Our bridge is the white thing that holds up the string, holds up the strings, and if that collapses, then the whole string collapses. Like everything is done. You might want to go get that fixed if that does happen. And so also we have our tailpiece. Our tailpiece is the most not really that important, but it holds our fine tuner, so I'll say that's a very most important as well. And then we're going to have our chin rest. Our chin rest is where we will be positioning the violin in order to play that. And so with that being said, we also have the C bout. The C bout, as you can see, is going to be on this side, the C bout, and then our upper bout. And we'll talk about that in a very short minute, and how that's very important as of playing wise as well. And then we have our upper bout, but then we have our neck. So right now, I mean, you want to get, I should have said this from the beginning, but you want to hold your viola from the neck. You don't really want to, hold it from wherever else, by the scroller, or, you don't want to get it out by the chin. Don't get it out by the chin. That's not very well. But to get to our lesson here, our mini lesson here, I want to first talk about our chin, or not our chin rest, but our shoulder rest. There's a chin rest and our shoulder rest. So I was right on that. I don't want to talk too much about that, but our shoulder rest is what will look black. It will look black, and what you will have to do is put that on the back of your viola. Putting that on the back of your viola and sliding it on both of those ends. You want to slide it on, like, of course this is the viola's in, like, it's going to be on the bottom, so you want to slide it on from the bottom and until it stops. You don't want to push it up anymore. When it stops, you're fine. Do not feel like it needs to go up more. It's supposed to stop. So from that, you could also put that now on. That's for your shoulder, your left shoulder, not your right. You don't want to play like on your right. You want to play from your left shoulder. So with that being said, you want to have your hand straight out. We're going to start like this. Have your hand straight out, and then we're going to kind of flip it like this, and then fly it in to that shoulder. And what we're going to do here is having your head straight, want to slightly tilt it, and then that's where your chin rest will be at, to slightly tilt it into that neck there. And you see how it's just like this. You want to have your hands on that neck still, and we're going to put it out, and you want to flip it a little bit and fly it in into that shoulder. And then you want to have your neck straight at first, and then you want to lean it in of just a tad bit until you have just slightly your chin and this half of your chin go on to your chin rest. And that shoulder, that I don't have right now, but that shoulder rest will be there to help you with that. So now we are going to talk about the second step, which is your hands, and how your hands should be on the fingerboard. So basically, I'll be talking about your fingers first before we get to the hand and how that should be positioned. This is going to be called your 1. Your middle finger will be called your 2. And your third finger, of course, is your 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this is your ring finger is 3. So when I say 1, position your hand down to 1 on the A string, or just whatever string. You can put it on the D string. We're going to be basically, I would say, the D and the A string. So that's your D, and then that's your A string right over there. I mean your D, and then that's your, if you can see that, I'm sorry, that's your D, and then that's your A string. So from there, you want to position your hands almost as, we're going to be like this, really. And you want to position, you see how that is? I mean, you can do like that if you want, and then put it onto where that is. Put your thumb where that, it really doesn't look like, you don't have to wrap it around, like put it all the way around, but put it just slightly like that. We're still like that, because then we're going to put that around, and we're going to position our 1, if you can see that, positioning our 1, and then our 2, and then our 3 on this string, and then we're going to curve it a little bit, curve it up a little bit. You're going to have the spacing in there. 1, 2, 3. And it should be talking about that in your Essential Elements book on page 6, I believe. I just looked at it for a while for Essential Elements. It does talk about it on page 6. So here we are starting with our fingers of the left hand, and what we're going to be doing with that. I mean, you can place it on your A string, but I mean, don't place it on your A string. But for now, we are going to start plucking. Plucking is in the wording of putting your thumb just at the end of your fingerboard there, put that into position like that with your thumb. Put your fingers like that. You don't have to hold the strings for now, but put your left hand on the upper bout. Put it on the upper bout like that and hold it like that. I don't really have a viola with me, but put it on the upper bout like that. And then also we are going to put our finger there, our thumb right there, and we're going to start plucking. So putting our index finger just slightly below just slightly above the fingerboard, and we're going to pluck. Just pluck the A string. Pluck the A string. Don't put these fingers down or anything. We're not doing nothing with those yet. We're just going to be plucking. Pluck that there with your index finger. You want to pluck the A string. So also what we'll be talking about is the bow. We want to say that with this bow, we'll have a demonstration on, not a demonstration, but a model on the bow, and that model is a pencil. Now today we're going to put the bow, hold it out in front of you like this, and when you get the bow out, I'm sorry, when you get the bow out, do not touch the bow hair. The bow hair should be loosened, and how do you know that it's loosened? It's loosened because the hair will be connected to the stick, and then if you tighten it, you can kind of put your index finger through it. I don't have a pencil with me right now, but I mean, it would be like that. It would be like that for the hair. The hair would be like that if it's loosened, but if it's tightened, then you will be able to do that. Be able to put your fingers right through it, and that'll be amazing. And then if you have some rosin, I mean, you can put it onto the hair, the bow hair, and do it in a slowly manner, back and forth, about 3 times back and forth would do, 2 or 3 times, I would say. And you have also the naming of those will be your tip, your stick. This is your tip right there, about the end, and this will be your stick. And then you have the frog, and then of course you have the winding of it, which will be the black thing. And then also you will have your adjusting screw. Now your adjusting screw is how you will adjust the hair. You go righty-tighty and then lefty-loosey. So that is all I would have to say for that. But please do not grab by the bow hair. That is very important, because then your playing wise and your sound will get kind of all messed up at that point. But with playing your bow, we're going to have that out. Again, I'm sorry to go off subject so very long, but on this bow, you want to hold it out with your right hand. If you can't hold it up, I mean, we're starting from the pencil, but with the bow, it'll be heavier. I just want to say that first. But with the bow, you want to have it holding up like this as a doorknob. It's going to be like a doorknob. We're going to have your pinky going at the end, and then, have your pinky going there at the end of it. And we're not going to wrap our fingers around it, but we're going to have your index finger going like this, and then your middle finger will go like this, not like this, basically. If that makes sense, we're going to have that going, but you want to have your thumb also be kind of curved. You want to have that thumb curved in there. If you can see that curve up in with the frog, the ferrule, I would say the ferrule, not the frog. I'm sorry, but there is a frog. The frog is this right here. It looks kind of like that would be the frog, and then that's the ferrule is where your thumb will be. It's where the ferrule is at. You want to place it in there. I wouldn't place it in there, but I mean, you want to have it relaxed with that round in it. Have that round in it. So having it like that, and then putting those in there, having that adjusted, and then putting that pinky right on the top there. Do not wrap it all the way around, but have it just there, and then you want to not bend it, but you want to face it toward the left. Go toward the left. You don't want to face toward the right or anything like that. Face toward the left. So then, it's just like putting a doorknob. It's just like putting a doorknob down. How you would pull a doorknob down, in a sense, would be in that manner of holding your bow. And now get out the bow and put that same thing that we applied to your actual bow. Again, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy, and with going over all this, I will say now we will get to the playing. And you're very excited, I know. Please don't just start going out of control. But again, you want to put that bow onto your D string. We're going to have that. And again, we want to go over some concepts here. You want to lean your hand to the left again, and have your all right fingers should be it should be rounded, picking like an apple or something like that. Having your hands being rounded, and make sure your thumb is rounded too as well. And your right hand should, be quite relaxed, I would say. Your right hand should be quite relaxed. So I was just looking down at my viola. You're just reminding myself that you should have how it should be positioned there, and your hands there. So as putting it onto, flying that into playing position, you want to place your hands now along your D string. One, remember that 1, 2, and your 3. And that thumb, again, being right there with your D, being right there with your index finger, you know. So 1, 2, and 3. So also, then now, put that into playing wise, and you will have that there with you. And you want to have your pencil there, not your pencil, but your violin. You want to have that violin and put those, what we applied to the violin about the door handle and everything. And don't wrap, you see I already messed up, don't wrap them all around, don't wrap them all the way around like that, but put it into that perspective there. Put it into, you see how that perspective, curving it a little bit. Now, as you have this there, we're going to play in a way of going straight with it. We're going to have to go straight, so like that, going in that position. 1, 2, 3, and we're being on a D. See how my the width of my hand, my elbow, it's going in a 90-degree angle. You see how that is in a 90-degree angle? We're going to have it like that, and we're going to hold the bow just in that positioning there. So it's coming like that, I would say. And then putting it straight. 1, 2, having that same. Oh, sorry, I'm messing up. 1, 2. It should be a little bend to the violin. Remember that concept, having it bend and having those hands, 1, 2, 3, being rounded, being in that round shape, and being in that round shape there. Being in that round shape. 1, 2, 3. Remember those fingers. Just the important concepts. Remembering those fingers. Having this bow in the position of the door handle, and how to pull on that door handle, and how your fingers go down. Keep it as the fingers go down as they're pulling a door handle down, and having that pinky finger be on the top of the screw. Having that pinky finger be on top of the screw, and you can have this index finger being a little bit on the winding. I wouldn't say all the way, but you can have it a little bit on the winding, and having that degree, you see, I don't know if you can see it, but having that see how that is with my hand, like with my arm, and where that is at, and how that's kind of in a 45 degree angle wise for bringing in the violin, and how that is. And we're just going to play with how my arm goes up and then slightly go in that direction, kind of like a 90-degree angle. It should be, you want the violin, you want your bow to, guide. You want to guide your bow and not grip. You don't want to grip your you don't want to grip and have your thumb like that. Have it like that. You don't want to have it like that. You want to have it rounded. You want to have that rounded, not like that, because then that starts to pressure your fingers and it starts to tense up. So with that being said, your essential book does talk about some of these things. With page 6, it talks about some of the ways to hold the bow, and not to hold the bow, but how to position the violin onto your the fingerings. Page 6 talks about the fingers. Page 13 will talk about how you should position the bow and how to play the bow. And then also on page 16, you will have ways to go, like if you feel like you got it down, go on to page 16 and get some songs. And I would say that's the way of knowing some letters and everything like that. But I would start on D, and always remind yourself of the things that we went over. So thank you. I am again Joshua Rivera, attending Washburn University, and it's great in my honor to share with you how to play the viola. Bye.